Johannesburg and then come back. But that form behind Louvre had worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
And she obviously looked for this type of ground. She's looking for it.
Loved it.
You know.
Good ride by Shazi.
Great ride by Shazi. He's still a very, very good rider. But,
Absolutely, yeah.
He's a top man, Shazi. Let's move on to race 7, which was Betting World Derby, and also Grade 2. And here was the clash of the two July hopefuls, Abercrombie and Patriotic Rebel. Well, they both fizzled out like damn squids, and maybe they showed how bad the 3-year-olds are. Let's go and have a look.
Royal Lance to complete the lineup with Abercrombie, Betting World Derby, 2,400 metres. Started to hit the lever and they dispatch from the 2,400 metre marker. One of the first to go is Sylvanas Jet. That's among the leading group. Patriotic Rebel is also right there. Wind Trip is in a good position shortly after the start. Skyrise is right there. Victory Emblem, it's very tight up front. Kelmia's on the outside of runners. Savage Wind in the green, only 3 lengths off the leader. Hot Ticket is on the outside of runners, and then comes Abercrombie. Abercrombie's about 6 lengths off the leader. Victory Emblem is on the outside of that as they swing on to the back stretch. They're followed further back in the field by Balls, and then comes Great Rumpers, and towards the outside of that is the King and I. Once again, they keep off that inside running rail down the back stretch. They go to the 1,700 metre marker, and Sylvanas Jet is in front. Kelmia's racing second. Patriotic Rebel, a perfect position at the rail with the green sleeves and cap. In 4th position is Savage Wind. They're followed by Skyrise. On the outside, the King and I is creeping a little bit closer, followed by Victory Emblem and Hot Ticket. Further back in the field at this stage is Great Rumpus. That's got about 8 or 9 to go. Wind Trips on the inside. Then Abercrombie and Royal Lance. And at the back of the field is Bulls, and that's racing about 10, 11 lengths off the leader. 1,100 metres to go, and now Skyrise is going off to lead them. Kelmia's back in second position, and Sylvanas Jet is still right there. They're followed by Patriotic Rebel. That's only about 3 or 4 lengths off the leader at this stage. Further back in the field, there is the King and I. That's got about 5 to go. Then Hot Ticket, Wind Trip, Great Rumpers. Then Victory Emblem. Further back is Abercrombie, and Bowles is at the back of the field. About to turn for home in the Betting World Derby, and it's Skyrise in front. Kelmia first to challenge. Then Sylvanas Jet. Savage Wind is on the outside. Patriotic Rebel. Towards the outside of that one is the King and I. They're followed by Hot Ticket, who's looking for running room. Towards the outside, Great Rumpus, then Abercrombie. 300 to go now, and Sylvanas Jet comes forward now. Kelmia's on the inside. Hot Ticket is trying to put in a claim as they come to the 200 metre marker though. And it's Sylvanas Jet, Patriotic Rebel, Hot Ticket, Kelmia. On the outside is Abercrombie. Sylvanas Jet is still in front, but Hot Ticket's now taking off. And Hot Ticket comes at Sylvanas Jet. Sylvanas Jet held on though and won it. Hot Ticket second, Abercrombie, Patriotic Rebel and Kelmia.
Oh, what a wonderful win by Sylvanas Jet. And again, the first 2 past the line, Sylvana. What a year the Stallion's having, and what a year Sean Cormack's having, eh, James?
Yeah, he's riding really, really well. Interesting thing was that Oaks was two and a bit seconds slower than this race. So Shazi obviously worked out exactly what the pace was all about. And here, Cormac rode a brilliant race. On
Good piece of training. Joey Ramson got it right in the day. The 2 Cape Boys, him and Dean Caname are fighting it out. Well done to both of them, especially Joey, coming away with that win. Abercrombie third, the Cape Boy. Some nice staying 3-year-olds, but you seem to think the 3-years are not quite as good as they are.
I just think they're so muddled, you know. When you start looking at all the lines behind Vercingetorix, okay, in the Daily News, and then you go back and start looking at the Guineas forms and that, these horses all beating each other.
Yeah.
The only one that beat them consistently was Vercingetorix. He's beaten them. Cape Town Noir's beaten them. Your horse has beaten them.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you look at these horses' lines behind, and there's just no consistency at all.
Yeah.
Abercrombie and Patriotic Rebel both looked like they had the beating of this horse.
Yeah.
But neither of them got close. They got beaten 3.5 lengths. So there does seem to be
time will tell us. Yeah.
But time will tell.
Well done to them, coming away with a Grade 2 race, the Betting World Derby. And James, this time next week, it'll be all the talk about the Vodacom Durban July. We'll have seen the Sunday meeting, which features a R1 million breeders race. But it's wonderful we're building up to such a good.
Well, this time
great race.
tomorrow, we'll be getting ready for the draw in the final field. Won't we?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's the next big event. But if you want to buy a horse, come to the sale on Thursday. Michael Holmes has a super sale. You remember the
Yes.
super sale?
Yes.
It's held here in the parade ring. They get rid of a whole lot of horses. Sheikh Mo and a whole lot of people are getting rid of horses.
It's a good sale.
It's a hell of a
good
sale. They
'cause
buy
sometimes you've got
horses
to
like
pay and you-
soldiers there.
I know over the years, Com's bought a few good ones out of the sale. He's won races with him, so a good sale to get down. It's Sherlock Holmes' sale.
It's
isn't
about
it?
1 o'clock in the parade ring here at Greyville on Thursday. Sherlock Holmes.
After the gallops.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, and you get a nice lunch and free drinks and have a full go, and you can buy yourself a couple of horses. So it's a hell of a bloody sale.
Yeah. What else been happening, James? Anything else happening worldwide while I've been away?
Only big news is that Eliza Park Stud, which is the home of Bel Esprit, the sire of Black Caviar,
Yes.
was sold. We said about a month ago or 6
We
weeks
spoke
ago,
about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw that was for sale, and we said, anyone wanted to buy it, and obviously we're going to get our 5% commission.
Yes,
Because
advertising it.
we did the whole sort of
Yes.
marketing of the sale. Hong Kong bought it. Hong Kong interest called Sun International, funny enough, and it's not the Sun International.
Yeah.
We know it's a Hong Kong-based company, Sun International. They bought it, and they've said business as usual at Eliza Park Stud. Bel Esprit's staying there, and they've got some other pretty good horses.
Yeah. So
Astronomer Royal, I think, stands there as well, from what I can gather. It was, a big week's racing.
wonderful. And we've got great sales coming up. As you know, we've spoken about the Bloodstock SA sale. We've spoken about Michael Holmes' sale on Thursday. Wonderful racing. And don't forget, tomorrow, the draw for and final field for the Vodacom Durban July. Anything else, James?
Well, we're going to be chatting to Patrick Loka, which will be very interesting. We'll find up all the news and latest in Gold Circle country from the commercial executive. Let's take a break.
Second position, but Military Roses giving them a bath. That's one of the biggest millions I've ever seen. Grace Valana, the leader. Grace Valana. Grace Valana.
Well, as promised in this segment of Your Call, we have none other than the commercial executive of Gold Circle, Patrick Loka, with us in the studio. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you, James. Nice to be here.
A little bit about Patrick Loka. You've been in Gold Circle on 2 occasions. You had a little
Twice.
tenure away.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I went across to Ireland, worked there for a while, and came back to Gold Circle.
They headhunted you back.
Yeah. Well, the position, they restructured, so the position was available. So,
And
Came back
and
to
what is the commercial executive? What is your job title?
primarily looking after all the betting, on-course, off-course betting, obviously internet, telephone betting, so all of our betting, and obviously trying to find other revenue streams for us to sustain the sport of horse racing.
Let's go back a bit in your history. Apparently, you're a Liverpool supporter. That's not a good thing, is it? in the atmosphere you live in up there, are there any other Liverpool supporters?
Yeah, there's a couple. Donovan Moses, he's a Liverpool supporter. Vinny Rejnev. There's a couple of us, but it's lean times at the moment. But we had our good days in the 80s.
You can't harp back.
No, you can't. But yeah, it's tough being a Liverpool supporter now, I must say. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to got any light at the end of the tunnel?
I want to believe so. I think Brendan Rodgers has got the right idea. They seem to have played better, in my opinion, in the last half of the season. Also, interestingly, I note that he got more points in his first season than Benitez and Kenny Dalglish before him. So yeah, let's see. Let's hope for good things.
What interests me is a guy like Luis Suarez, the biter. Yeah. All you Liverpool supporters seem to take after that type of guy.
Why do you think I bite?
I've heard you're a bungee jumper of note.
Bungee jumper, yeah, I've done that. I've also jumped here at Moses Mabhida Stadium.
Have you got a death wish?
No,
Must
it's
be
good
the
fun.
job.
It's good fun. Yeah, you've got to do something different. You've got to try and kind of just push the blood through your system a little bit. Yeah, so that was good fun. Man. Good fun.
Your golf?
Not a good golfer. I've had a couple of good rounds of late, but we played on Tuesday in the Kersney Day. Yeah, terrible.
That's not good, Patrick.
No,
you know,
it's not.
you chaps have got a lot of time on your hands, and apparently there's quite a bit of school here at Golf Circle. There's a bit of needle in the golf circles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a couple of us that play fairly well, not regularly, but we try and play together. Graham, myself, Dean Moody, and Ralph Maduri. So we won one of the golf days. I'm trying to think which one it was. I think it was a Benevolent Society, the Police Benevolent Society one that Mark Proctor runs. I think we won that the 1 year. So, but that's about it. Since then,
It was a long time ago.
it's a long time ago. It's like Liverpool, yeah.
Like Liverpool, yeah.
Like Liverpool. You kind of got to kind of harp on your glory days, but present's not too good.
All right, you started off in Gold Circle. How many years? About 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
No, it was in 2000. Towards the end of 2000,
yeah.
I started, yeah. And then I left the end of 2007, and I came back in 2009.
What was your tenure in the beginning? How has Gold Circle changed in those days from then till now?
I think the biggest change for me was obviously then we had our own pools when I first came. So there was always the two pools, Phumelela and Gold Circle. And I was not that involved, but fairly involved with the commingling initiatives that started in 2001 and implemented 2002. At that time, I was looking after more the telephone betting and internet betting sites. And then I moved into having more operational responsibility in our tote infrastructure. And then now when I've come back, sort of assumed the executive position. So, yeah.
Has it changed a lot? We've been 13 years from the day that you started here. Have you seen significant changes? Have you seen changes for the good?
Yes, no, I've seen a lot of changes for the good. I think there's a greater sense of professionalism within the industry and within the company. One thing that's a negative is that certainly regulation has become a lot more stringent, not just your betting regulation, but things like safety regulation, health, all of those kind of issues that are just, smoking, for instance. When I first started, you could just smoke wherever you wanted to. Now it's become a lot more difficult. So you've got to provide for all of those kind of things. And that also comes with a certain cost attached to it. But generally, I'd say that I think the sport has become more better. The sport of horse racing. Obviously, we lose a lot of good horses overseas, but that has helped generate, I guess, interest in the overseas racing that wasn't there before. But I do think that competitiveness has always remained, and we've proven ourselves on the world stage. So I think there's a lot of positive in the sport just becoming a lot better for me.
You went to Ireland. What actually drew you to Ireland? Did you get a job opportunity there?
Yeah, I got a job opportunity with a friend of mine that we had worked together here in South Africa. At that stage, Ireland was going through its boom times, known as the Celtic Tiger. I got there, unfortunately, right at the end of it. So I experienced the good time, and then I experienced what it was like once the banks collapsed, once the government had to put a lot of money into propping the banking system up. And that obviously then affected quite a few had a knock-on effect on quite a few things. One of them was employment. A lot of people started being retrenched. There was a lot of concern about people like myself having work permits, whether or not those work permits would be renewed, because there were